Ever since he was drafted in 2020, Jalen Hurts has improved his game year after year, and is now playing like an MVP. It may seem out of nowhere for many, but I think this was destiny, so it was only a matter of time before Jalen would pop off.
It's Hurts, it's a deep ball, looking for Devontae Smith, what a catch!
Ever since his time in Tuscaloosa, Jalen has proven that he is one of those guys on the football field every single time he's balled out. Although he lost the Bama job to Tua, at Oklahoma, Jalen put up Heisman-level stats, and by doing so became a high-rated prospect going into the draft. Considering the fact that there were studs like Burrow, Herbert, and Tua, it wasn't a surprise that Jalen fell to the late second round, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise as he joined the Bird Gang.
The Philadelphia Eagles select Jalen Hurts, quarterback, Oklahoma.
Not much was expected out of Jalen because Wentz had already been starting for 4 years and was coming off a season with over 4,000 yards. So with that in mind, it wasn't a surprise that Jalen couldn't do much as a rookie until Wentz started doing stuff like this. After a lot of disappointing play by Carson, Jalen was able to come in against Green Bay, and although he didn't do amazing, he showed glimpses of greatness.
To the end zone, touchdown!
And it seemed like Philly noticed as they gave him the start against New Orleans the following week. Although expectations were pretty low on how well Jalen would do against the Saints, he played well enough to get a win behind over 150 yards passing and another 100 on the ground. Not too shabby of a performance for a first start, and so it helped Jalen do the same thing the following week in Arizona, where he was somehow able to up his game with over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air. So although they ended up losing, it was still pretty damn impressive. Even though Jalen wasn't able to keep up the same momentum in the last few games, it didn't matter all that much as the Eagles believed in him enough to do this.
Philadelphia Eagles agreeing to trade Carson Wentz to the Indianapolis Colts.
If you consider how disappointing a year Carson had, and add that to the fact that Jalen was able to do a lot more with less, after only a few starts, the Bama alum was able to take over the starting reins in Philly. Going into 2020 as the number 1 at quarterback put quite a bit of pressure on Jalen, considering how wild the Philly fanbase is, and so you'd probably think it would be a perfect recipe for a slump, but somehow it wasn't.
Hurts. Hooks a pass. Got his man, Devontae Smith.
After only winning 4 games the previous year, it was pretty impressive that Jalen was able to lead the team to a 9-8 record, and upon that somehow get them a wildcard appearance. In both the run and the pass game, Hurts Donut took it up a notch as he put up over 3,100 and 16 through the air, along with nearly 810 touchdowns on the ground. It was a bit rocky at first, but midway through the year, it seems like the Eagles turned something on as they finished 5-1 in their last 6 games, and by doing so, made their way into the playoff picture. Going against the defending Super Bowl champ Tampa Bay Bucks was a lot to ask for someone as fresh as Jalen. And so let's just say it wasn't a surprise that the team wasn't able to maintain the same momentum from the regular season as they got smacked by Brady and gang. Not the greatest way to end the year, but the fact that Jalen was able to lead the team to the playoffs in the first place made up for it, and had many interested in what he could do with another year under his belt. Jalen and good old Bama alum Devontae Smith immediately connected in 2021, so going into the following season, it seems like they would be on timing. But let's just say that the offense got much more interesting.
Let's go!
How about this trade that just went down?
Wow, we thought it was going to be Deebo Samuel. Turns out A.J. Brown.
Not only would Jalen and Devontae be doing their thing, but alongside them was a stud in A.J. Brown, who was looking to take the Eagles' offense to a whole nother level. Let me know who you think won the trade, but needless to say, it seemed like Philly was in for an interesting 2022 season. And yeah, let's just say they have.
47. Good protection again, launch downfield. Watkins wide open, touchdown.
In the past, it took the Eagles a decent bit before they got any momentum, but this year has been much different. From the very beginning, Jalen and the Bird Gang have played as well as anyone out there. Win after win after win, the Eagles quickly became the team to beat in the NFL as they won their first 8 in a row. All the while this time, Jalen played like an MVP candidate as AJ and Devontae were able to tear up pretty much every single defense they went up against. But not only was Jalen able to do his thing through the air, my man has also been able to put up just under 600 yards rushing, and in fact is coming off a game where he had over 150.
Fake to Gainwell. Hurts has a lot of space over here. Take it off. Anybody going to catch him?
The questions went from what can Jalen do to what can he do overnight, as the second-year starter is now very much in the MVP race with his Bama Bud and Tua and the Mahomie. It seems like in every single avenue, Jalen is playing his best football, with the career best QBR and passer rating making him extremely difficult to stop. To put it simply, the new pieces and experience are all paying off big time for the Bama boy in what very well could be an MVP performance.
Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
But MVP or not, Jalen has quickly proven that when he has the right pieces, he can play as well as any quarterback out there. And I think it could have him and the Eagles going far in the playoffs. You know what? Comment down below how far you think they're going to go, and if Jalen is going to win the MVP.
Are you serious right now, bro?
But anyways, I've been rambling for far too long. So let's talk about why I think this was destiny in the making. In only a few years, Jalen went from losing the starting job at Bama to becoming an MVP contender. And let's just say that it's been a hell of a journey.
One of the most awful, deplorable, embarrassing, impotent performances that I have ever seen.
From dominating at Oklahoma, to beating out Wentz for the starting spot, to now leading Philly to one of the best seasons ever. It's been far from easy, but my man Jalen is an absolute beast.
Quarterback squatting close to 600 pounds.
I mean, if he could do stuff like this, then I guess he could win some football games. But I don't think anyone could have anticipated all of this.
Good protection for Jalen Hurts, who takes a shot, and he's got A.J. Brown.
When someone works as hard as Jalen does day in and day out, has gone through the number of ups and downs that he has, and is really determined, then I think that pretty much anything is possible. To many, this season may seem like lightning in a bottle, but Jalen has been able to improve year after year, so I heavily doubt that this will be his only dominant performance. As long as he, AJ, and Devontae stay together, it's going to be really tough to stop that offense no matter who you are. Because even if the passing game isn't working, Jalen can also run the ball as well as any quarterback out there. I mean, even Brady is impressed by Hurts' donut, saying that he is playing at a very, very, very high level, and it's why the Eagles are such a tough team to stop. It really doesn't get much better than getting praise like that from the GOAT, a guy who knows football through and through, and upon that, someone that Jalen has gone up against a few times already. Real recognizes real, and it doesn't get much more real than someone who has a mindset like Jalen, someone who puts their all out there every single game, and someone who will likely go down as one of the best in Philly history because of his ability to do things that not many others can. Am I rambling to get this video to 8 minutes? Maybe. But with Jalen, there's plenty to talk about, and so although there's a lot of great quarterbacks out there, I don't think many could do as well as Hurts has in a situation like the one he was given in Philly. Sure, he may have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith now, but he played well enough to earn the starting spot as a rookie, on a team that was the laughingstock of what used to be a terrible division, and so now the karma's kicking in. Most people would probably give up or lose hope after losing the starting spot on a team like Bama, but I think it's the reason why Jalen's even in this spot in the first place. This video could age like garbage, and this could have been a flash in the pan of a season, but I would bet that there will be many more years like this in the city of brotherly love, and I gotta say, you love to see it.
Hurts keeps, Hurts cuts, Hurts has the first down, and Jalen Hurts might have just put it away.
Thanks for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below stuff you want next. But anyway, see you all soon, and peace out.
Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.